The article that I published today over at HartmannReport.com is titled, "What Will Americans Do When Birth Control is Illegal?" And it's about all these different Republicans who are talking about how, they want to make sure that birth control is illegal. And mostly they want to blow up the whole privacy defense, the right to privacy that was first articulated in 1965 in the Griswald versus Connecticut case. This was a case where Connecticut had a law that said that you can't, even if you're married, you can't own birth control. You can go to jail if you own birth control. And in 1965, the head of Planned Parenthood, a woman by the name of Griswald, her last name, sued the state of Connecticut and took it to the Supreme Court and won. And they said, oh, I guess if you're married, you can have birth control. Now, it was still illegal to own birth control in Connecticut if you were not married, up until 1972. In 1972, the court legalized birth control for everybody, which is amazing when you think of how recent that was. 73 was Roe v. Wade. Anyhow, there's now a whole list of Republicans who are on the record saying Griswold was wrongly decided. And the weird thing about this, the reason why this is such a big deal is because that Griswold decision, the first time the Supreme Court said that the due process clause of the 14th Amendment, clause of the 14th Amendment combined with the Fourth Amendment, combined with the Fifth Amendment, you don't have to testify against yourself. You have privacy in your papers and home. You combine all of these things, and what they in aggregate do is establish an absolute individual right to privacy in the United States. And if you blow up Griswold, then you blow up the other cases that are rooted in that right to privacy. Well, first of all, you make it so states can outlaw birth control, which is the goal here of many of these Republicans. But secondly, Obergefell, which is the gay marriage case, is rooted in this right to privacy. Lawrence v. Texas, which was the criminalizing gay sex, blowing up the laws or ending the laws, overturning the laws that had criminalized gay sex, gay relations, shall we say. Those laws are grounded in this right to privacy. So, and of course, Roe v. Wade is grounded in this right to privacy, or was. So the court has already blown up Roe v. Wade, and in his concurring decision, Clarence Thomas, the billionaire fanboy on the Supreme Court, said, we need to re-examine Lawrence, Obergefell, and basically we need to look at all these cases. Now, the one that Clarence Thomas didn't identify, the only other major case that the Supreme Court has decided using this rubric of privacy and the 14th Amendment was Loving versus Virginia. And Loving versus Virginia is the case where an interracial couple, the Loving couple, that was actually their last name, Loving, sued and said, we should be able to get married even though one of us is black and one of us is white. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, you're absolutely right, based on that right to privacy. But Clarence Thomas, that was the only one he didn't mention, and maybe because he's a black guy married to a white woman, I don't know, but that's where it's at. So anyhow, I just wanted to flag that for you. It's over at HartmannReport.com. I'm telling you, they're not going to do much probably between now and November of next year, because Republicans know that more than 90% of Americans are down with birth control. Having birth control is a fine thing. But after the election, if these guys, on the state-by-state basis, you're going to see it happening just like with abortion. And at the federal level, you're going to start seeing legislation being proposed, not just to ban abortion. We've got numerous Republicans who have federal abortion bans that they're trying to get passed. But also, you're going to see, you're going to see federal legislation to ban birth control as well. The argument that they're using is that the birth control pill is an abortifacient. It's not, but this is the argument that they're using. And that IUDs are abortifacients. They're not. I suppose it's a matter of definitions. But in any case, this is what's coming.